Welcome. My name is Extravaganza Grotesca. In this video, I want to take you back to a time in where the supernatural was part of normal life. A time in where medicine was the one to be considered to be magic, and people's minds were more predisposed to giving esoterical meaning to the unexplained. Traditional therapies and home remedies were the ones used in order to cure illnesses, maybe because medicine was still very limited, or maybe because 100 years ago, people were more connected to nature than we are nowadays. Either way, the truth is that there were so many illnesses and infections that automatically meant death that maybe the only way that people had with dealing with grief and pain was by giving it some mystical meaning. With this in mind, we are now in the north of Spain, in Asturias, and the time is the first decade of the 20th century. Back then, there was not very good living conditions. There were a lot of people that were very poor, and that made hundreds of people from the north of Spain to emigrate towards America in search of the dream life that they were promised in the new world. Like many other dreamers, the protagonist of our story, called Ramon Cuervo, decided to leave everything behind and sail towards America in search of wealth and happiness. The thing is, once he got there, he realized that not everything was as beautiful as it seemed from far away. And America was just another place in where he would have to work from sunset to sunrise, or from sunrise to sunset, in order to make it through. And they still had illnesses, and the way that they would deal with it was with home remedies, rituals, and prayers, just like they did back home. The story gets worse. At age 22, Ramon noticed that he was coughing blood, and that is never good, so he got very worried. He went to visit several doctors in Cuba, and very quickly, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis. He was devastated. Not only he didn't become wealthy and rich and, really happy in the new world, but now he had a disease that most likely meant death. He was advised to stay in the island because of the dry weather. It would help with his illnesses. However, it was quite expensive living in a place without having a job. So Ramon decided to visit a black magician. He was willing to do anything in order to avoid meeting the Grim Reaper that soon. Nevertheless, the solution that the black magician gave him was a bit too macabre at first. Sometime later, Ramon was finally able to get back home to Asturias, and because his health was getting really bad, he was now determined to carry out the dark solution that the black magician had given him. In the afternoon of the 18th of April in 1917, in the town of Avilés in Asturias, the parents of an 8-year-old boy called Manuel Torres reported him missing to the police just after he didn't come home when he was supposed to. Everyone took to the streets looking for the little boy. They searched everywhere and spent the whole night wishing that he would appear. Finally, as the sun was rising, it was his father, the one who found him dead, face down, underneath a tree. His face was pale, his body cold and stiff. When they examined the body, it was determined that he died because of a massive blood loss, and they found 2 little marks in his neck. Everything pointed out as if someone had drunk his blood. So obviously, the people of the town very quickly jumped into the very logical conclusion that the murder must have been committed by a vampire. And that's how the legend of the Vampire of Avilés was born. Police started the investigation, and they really wanted to find the killer, whether human or vampire. Apparently, some eyewitnesses told the police that Ramon was seen around the kids, especially Manuel, before he disappeared. He was taken in for questioning, and even though at the beginning he obviously denied everything, after a while he confessed having committed the crime. He said that he killed the kid because the black magician back in Cuba told him that the only way to cure his illness was by drinking the blood of a little kid straight from his body while it was still warm. Remember that he had tuberculosis, yeah? So, of course, this was the only solution. He said that at first he didn't want to do it, but as the time went by, his health was getting really, really bad, and he began believing that it was true and that the only way to get a cure was to drink the blood of a kid. So he went for it. The choice of his victim apparently was at random. He offered some coins to several kids in order to get them to go with him somewhere quiet, but all of them turned the offer down, unknowingly saving their lives from an early death. However, it was poor little Manuel Torres, the one who fell on the trap, and he followed Ramon for a few coins. As soon as the vampire had the kid alone in an isolated place and he saw the chance, he just put a cloth of impregnated chloroform on his mouth to get him to sleep, and he went straight towards the kid's neck. He said that he drank all the blood that he could, and when he was finished, he just went to spend the night in a nearby hotel in order to celebrate that now he was full of life. With the straight confession of the killer, it was an easy case, and he obviously got charged with murder. On the 12th of May in 1918, he was being transferred to another prison in Oviedo, and that was the last time that anyone had ever seen him, either alive or undead. Some people think that he managed to jump off the wagon when he was being transferred and he escaped. Some others think that he just died from his illnesses, tuberculosis, in jail. But others believe that maybe he actually turned into a vampire, and now he wanders the streets of Asturias every night looking for his next victim. Who knows? Once again, we've reached the end of the story. Thank you all so much for watching, and unfortunately, I don't have a film that you can watch about it because it doesn't exist. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to make one in the future about it. Anyway, I want to talk about this story because it's somehow a bit special as it happened in my hometown. And please do let me know, is there any vampire legends going around where you live? Let me know in the comments. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.